We expected him to leave
The time to panic is when you see me panic.
1, 2.
Oh, I got it here. Yeah, so my nice.
Within the next 6 or 7 minutes. Good morning, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to the HSBC Bermuda half marathon and marathon races. We are 1 hour into the race. We are expecting our first runner within the next 10 minutes. At the moment, he is just past Admiralty House on the North Shore, heading down towards town. It is Jordan Chipmanga from Zambia, and we're told he has a considerable lead over the second place runner. But just to keep you up to date, he is past Admiralty House. He's on his way down Cox's Hill, and will be here within the next 10 minutes. For your interest, the record time for the half marathon is 64 minutes and 27 seconds, so we're unlikely to see that broken this year. That was set by the Kenyan Philip Koech some years ago, but Jordan is in the lead, well in the lead, and approaching the finish line. We have in excess of 700 runners today. They're running both the half marathon and the full marathon, of course. The full marathoners will be running along the left-hand side of Front Street, heading east, so please make sure you stay off the road. And the half marathon finishers will, of course, finish in the finish chute, which is on the right-hand side, the south side of Front Street, as we head east. So just to keep you up to date, over 700 runners heading into town. Please make sure you applaud both sides of the street. The marathoners perhaps need your support more than the half marathoners, who will of course be finishing. So over 700 runners. We're very grateful to HSBC, our title sponsor, for all the good work they've done not only today, but of course yesterday. And for HSBC, it's not just a financial commitment. They have their staff out helping. They had over 60 of their colleagues walking in the 10K walk yesterday, so it's a real community donation and involvement from HSBC. Today, we're very lucky to have Andy Burrows, who is the head of corporate banking at HSBC. He will be holding up the finish line tape alongside Karen Medeiros, who does all their corporate promotions and marketing. Not sure of her official title, but she does all the promotions, the advertising. You'll see her up at the Rugby Classic. You'll see her at all kinds of events all over the island. So a big thanks to Andy and Karen, who will be holding the finish line tape for us. So I would say within the next 6 or 7 minutes, we'll see our winner come through. A little later on, I'll give you some more information about the location of the first female runner. But at the moment, it's still all Jordan Chipmanga from Zambia. Not on record pace, but still on very good pace, given the conditions.
We've had races, Stephen, where we've been sitting there and I get the first thing I do is like, which way is the race going?
I've had races where I'll be standing with the road, all of a sudden somebody goes by this way, like,
Yeah, Phoenix, I'm really.
how much time do we have?
Lead car's on the way, and you got a early start full challenge.
Okay, this is an early starter coming through on the full challenge. The lead car is on the way to the finish line. I'm told that Bermuda's Chris Estwanik is running in second place in the half marathon, and we have two Americans running third and fourth. So there's a Zambian, a Bermudian, and two Americans running 1, 2, 3, 4. But still, Jordan Chipmanga well in the lead in the half marathon.
Well, she doesn't really have a split. All right, then.
I want to take a picture.
There is our lead car coming up the northern side of Front Street and the support truck, so our winner is very close by. Here he is. Here's Jordan Chipmanga from Zambia. This is our 2013 half marathon winner, Jordan Chipmanga from Zambia. Well done, Andy. Well done, Karen. Good job. So there he is. Under 66 minutes. So that's a very, very respectable time, particularly bearing in mind that he's run a great deal of the course by himself. Runners do need competition. They do need pacing. And sounds like our second place runner is coming in. This should be Chris Estwanik of Bermuda. Let's give him a big hand. Here's Chris, training for the Boston Marathon. Chris Estwanik, very good time by Chris, 1:06:34 unofficially. So the first two men are in the books over the finish line. Jordan Chipmanga from Zambia in first place, and our own Chris Estwanik in second place. Chris had entered the New York Marathon, which was sadly cancelled because of Hurricane Sandy, so I'm sure a lot of miles in his legs that he's willing to and wanting to use up. Chris is currently training for the Boston Marathon, which is held in April. And I have a two-time winner of the Boston Marathon standing right next to me here, Jeff Smith, in the blue tracksuit top. And suitably a Boston tracksuit top at that. Boston, a marathon with a great deal of tradition, of course. One of the oldest marathons in the books.
$105.53. $105.53.
Yes, yes.
Now the women's record time is 1 hour 10 minutes and 57 seconds, set by Elfanesh Shalima from Ethiopia. Again, we're unlikely to see that challenge today. Conditions a little tricky for the runners today. Humidity is relatively high this morning, and although the rain is a cooling, it does affect traction on the road, so not the best of conditions, but runners, once they get started, they'll get to the finish line somehow.
Patrick, do we have any more cones?
And we did get lucky with the weather on Friday night and again yesterday, so a little drizzle or rain is not the worst thing that can happen to us this weekend. So over 700 runners will be passing through during the day. As far as the entire weekend is concerned, we've had over 1,400 runners compete over the weekend in the various divisions. They represent 17 different countries. They come from 30 states from the US of A and also 5 Canadian provinces. So quite a healthy cross-section of the global population are running here this weekend. And one of the things the athletes stress to us over and over again is the warmth and the support of the Bermudian population. So let's hope we don't let them down as they come through here on Front Street. And of course it's the run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-pack runners who appreciate the applause way more than the elite athletes. They're the ones that need some help to get round here today. And this is Darren Brown from the US of A. Darren Brown, still got some spring in his step. Yeah. Darren Brown from the US of A. There's our third place male finisher. Still looks fresh, looks like he could run around again and do the marathon. And here's our fourth place finisher. This is Ben Bruce. Ben Bruce, also from the US of A. Tall, lean athlete, not much spare flesh there. Well suited for the longer distances. So the first 4 in the books. 1 Zambian, 1 Bermudian, and 2 Americans. That was 20 pounds ago. 20 pounds ago.
First marathon is probably around the Hamilton Princess. Over. Okay.
Is that the first female Hamilton Princess?
I didn't hear.
Take it right here. You did have to step out with HSBC teamwork. I like this. Take. Okay, here come the lead marathon runners, I'm told. These are they're doing the second lap, these guys, so they need a bit of applause. Yep. 1 lap down, 1 lap to go. Unofficially 1:12:40, so if they can maintain the pace, and it's a big if when it comes to marathon running, if they can maintain the pace, we're looking at a finishing marathon time of around 1:25. Of course, the second lap is always more difficult than the first lap, but at least there are 3 of them running together. And company is a good thing in distance running. this is Stephen Allen. Stephen Allen, the flying speed cop from St. George's. That's Stephen Allen. He is our full half triangle challenge winner. No question about that. Mile, 10K and half marathon, he is our winner of the half triangle challenge. And the second local across the line. And I'm sure he's very happy with his work this weekend, time to put his feet up. Let's hope the police service don't have him working tonight. Stephen Allen from St. George's. So as I was saying with the marathon runners, it's a big help if they do have company. They can take turns taking the pace, and marathon running you are allowed to talk, unlike the sprints, so they can keep each other company as they work their way around. Hopefully they'll stay together at least until the latter stages of the race. So our next big landmark will be the first female finisher. We're not sure who it is. From radio transmissions, we haven't been able to establish the first female in the half marathon. But it could well be a local runner. We certainly hope so.
I was just testing and you were the person closest. Sorry.
Kevin, you gotta get the jacket up. Yeah, sorry.
Hey, Ian, how about this one? Look, Ian.
Oh, yeah. I see your midriff.
I guess it's not a car with the ladies.
Hey.
Oh yeah, three just living together on about 5 years.
Jolly.
Okay. I think anybody used to say being amongst the runners, and that's dangerous. Stay in front. Well, we'll see up here. Maybe there's a pad. That big name comes up on the screen. This is Yen Nguyen from Texas. That's the wrong side. That's female. She must be an early starter. Yes, that is an early starter, in fact. Our friend from Texas, so she's not the lead female marathoner. She just got an early start. But good luck to you. I wonder why she triggered that.
Well, because it's not a format or athletic that point out, so it's broadcasting out across the street.
So why did we get the three male marathons?
It's perfect. And if you don't, did you want to see it? I can get rid of that flash message and then you might hold the video so you know.
So this is the culmination of the weekend. For those of you who are not aware, it's centered around the Triangle Challenge. And the Triangle Challenge consists of 3 races on 3 days. And runners will run the mile on the Friday night, as they did here on Front Street. On Saturday, they all run the 10K. And then the brave run the half marathon on Sunday. and the very brave run the marathon on Sunday. And we combine the time of those 3 races to find the winner. We already have the winner of the half triangle challenge. That was Stephen Allen, the local policeman. And then, of course, we'll have the champion for the ladies and also for the full triangle challenge, which will involve the marathon runners. So it's 3 races in 3 days, which is indeed a challenge given the topography of Bermuda and the hills that these guys have to climb. Sounds like we have another runner coming through. I can hear muffled applause coming. Yes, it's another half marathon finisher. This is Richard Cohen from New York. Richard Cohen from New York. 1:19:14 unofficially. So he's under the 80-minute barrier. Very respectable time for a half marathon in Bermuda. It's not a flat course. Plenty of hills involved. Here's Spencer Butterfield. Spencer Butterfield from Bermuda. 1:19:50 unofficially. And Spencer will be the runner-up in the half triangle challenge. First lady. And here comes our first lady. It is Olga Romanova. Olga Romanova from Russia. Well done, Olga. That's our first lady in and finished. Olga Romanova from Russia. I'm sure Olga will have appreciated a slightly warmer temperature this weekend. A big thanks to Andy Burrows and Karen Medeiros from HSBC, our finish line officials. Well done, guys. Thank you so much. And here we have Andrew Felbinger from New York. Andrew Felbinger. Well done, Andrew. Andrew, a 22-year-old, so he's one of the younger crew. Andrew from New York. So Olga Romanova is our first female in the half marathon. We are, of course, looking eagerly forward to seeing Ashley Estwanik, our local runner, daughter of Peggy Cooper, another very well-known runner, and niece of Jim and Debbie Butterfield. And here comes another finisher. This is Robert John. Robert from New York, New York. Well done, Robert. Yeah. Nice economic style as he comes over the finish line. Okay, this is Jose Miranda, local runner from Smith's Parish. Jose Miranda. And here's Ashley Estwanik, the second female finisher, Ashley Estwanik, 1:22:38 unofficially. So that's our second female finisher in the half marathon.
I was 10 strides. And I was like,
her cousin Spencer already through the finish chute. And Jose Miranda and Stephen Allen also amongst the local finishers already, showing up very well against the overseas runners, as we usually do. Bermuda runners can hold their heads up high in competition with these athletes from abroad. Two more finishers. This is Frank White from Bedford, Mass, and Mark Wilcox from Warwick. They've decided to finish together. Probably ran together and made that decision a couple of miles back. We've run all the way together. We may as well finish together. Nice sporting gesture from those two. So an American and a Bermudian finishing there. Mark Wilcox and Frank White from Medford, Massachusetts. We do owe the spectators a vote of thanks for turning out in this weather, which isn't particularly hospitable, so let me assure you the runners do appreciate it. They really do. It's what they talk about. This is Jake Lukaszewicz from South Hadley, Massachusetts. He's even got his Bermuda socks on. Well dressed. A runner from Massachusetts. The majority of our overseas runners do, of course, come from the northeast, which makes logical sense. 90-minute flight away, but as I said, we have runners from over 30 different states in the US of A and 5 Canadian provinces. In total, 17 different countries are represented this weekend. Omari Hart. Omari from Southampton, Bermuda, finishing well. Well done, Omari. First Lady Marathoners moving through in the black top. That's our First Lady Marathoner. So she's looking, if all goes well, at a time under 3 hours, which is extreme.
Yeah, I just tried to move it in a little bit.
Here, let's bring that speaker back a little bit then. Just if it's a battery, I don't know if I know, I was looking for it. Here. Ian, move the speaker back a little bit. Towards you? Yeah. How's that?
1, 2. Sorry about that slight technical interruption. It's the weather. So we have a 45-second gap between the first and second ladies in the full marathon. So that is going to be a good race. Hopefully they can perhaps join up at some point on the second lap and work together, which will make things much, much easier for the runners. Jonathan Caswell one-time Bermuda resident, school teacher, I believe at Delwood or Northlands. He now lives in the northeast of England, and very happy to be in this kind of weather compared to where he was. As I was saying earlier, we are represented today on the field by over 17 countries, and this is Barry Murphy. Well done, Barry. 17 countries, so it makes perfect sense that our title sponsor is HSBC, very much a global brand, as everybody knows. So we are delighted to have them and all the help they give with us. That was Fraser Hunt just finishing. One of our marathon ladies has decided that she'll wait for another day to pursue that dream. So sympathetic applause. It's tough to pull out, but we appreciate your efforts, and there's always another day. But if you reignite an old injury or things just aren't going your way, it's better to stop rather than make the injury worse and wait for another day. So commiserations to that young lady. There will be other races. Just means she can get started on the dark and stormies a little earlier. And the codfish breakfast, of course. This is Deirdre Brill from New York. Well done, Deirdre. Well done, Deirdre. Next we have Jonathan Herring. Jonathan is Bermudian, Jonathan Herring, perhaps more famously known for his triathlon exploits. Another male marathoner going through on the north side of Front Street. He'll be trying to break 3 hours. 3 hours, of course, is the magical number for most marathon runners, and many of them will spend their lives trying to get under that 3-hour barrier. The world record now is alarmingly very close to 2 hours, which is scary running. That means they're running 26.2 miles in under 5 minutes per mile, which is quite amazing. And of course the marathon field nowadays dominated by East Africans, Kenyans and Ethiopians predominantly. Another full marathon runner going through. Okay, we have Chris Cabral and Guillaume Bailey. Guillaume from Montreal and Christopher Cabral from St. George's. Well done to you two. One Canadian, one local. Another marathoner coming through on the northern side of Front Street. 1 lap down, 1 to go. Of course, the disadvantage of a two-loop course like this one is it's a terrible temptation to stop after 1 lap. Most marathoners find the point-to-point marathon easier, as in New York, where you start in Staten Island and have to run to Manhattan to finish. Half-marathon finisher is Alan Fox from Somerset. Here's a West End warrior, Alan Fox. And a marathon runner going through there. This is Stephanie Hodge from New York, Long Island, New York. Stephanie Hodge. There's the... And Corey Brunton from Hamilton. Hello, this is Harry.
Move that car to this side. Can you see it? Because then the half marathoners can see it.
John Smith from St. George's. And Dennis Younglove from New York, New York. Dennis Younglove from New York, New York.
Yeah, but you don't understand them.
That's James Keyes from Devonshire. Peter, you probably need help down here.
Yeah, no, I did.
I don't know why he's calling me. This is Michael Schindel from Smith's, Bermuda. And he's followed by Larry Hodge, also from Bermuda. Well done, Michael and Larry. Next up in the finish chute is Javier Oriamuno from New York, followed by Dennis Fagundo from Paget. Well done, Dennis. And Adam Hopkin from Warwick, Bermuda. Very tight finish there for those two, Adam and Dennis. Scott Neal. This is the journalist from the Royal Gazette. Finishing up, Scott Neal from Bermuda. And next we have a young man from Italy, Roberto Giordano. There he is. Hey, Roberto. Buongiorno. And Chris Jones from Southampton finishing. Roberto looking in good shape. We'll see what he looks like when he comes around next time. This is Mike Osborne, the manager at the airport. Here he is, not flying today. Well done, Mike. Good job. Mike Osborne, one of the nicest guys you'll meet on the road racing circuit. Next we have Justin Brendan from Pembroke, Bermuda. Well done, Justin. Yes, you've made it.
Yep, some already started.
Jason Butler finishing up. Jason Butler from Smith's, Bermuda.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Steve.
Sorry, man.
Okay, Rob Wallace from New York, Eric Saucier from New York, and Stephen Nailey, also from New York. So 3 runners from the Big Apple finishing almost together. Stephen, Eric, and Rob. This is Samantha McMahon coming down the finish chute. No, she's a marathon runner. I'm sorry, this is Samantha McMahon. In the half marathon chute, we have Andre Carr. Well done, Andre. Looking very smooth. Still maintained his form and his style as he came through the finish line. Next up, we have Giles Sperling from Smith's and Tim Goodyear from Smith's. And then Rick Franklin from Georgia. Well done, Rick.
Watch what you ask for, man.
Rick Franklin from Dunwoody, Georgia.
That's not what they said. They said you have a choice of burning and burning. That's what they said.
Just to give you some idea of the pace some of these guys are running, if we look at Jordan Chipganga from Zambia, who won today's half marathon, his pace was 5 minutes and 2 seconds per mile. Let's say hello to Frederick Steed, one of our veteran runners. Well done, Frederick. Frederick Steed. Chris Istwanik's pace was 5 minutes and 5 seconds per mile. And our third place finisher, Darren Brown, averaged 5:23 per mile. So 5:02 per mile was the pace of our winner. Jordan Chipganga from Zambia, 24-year-old. Alex Cabe from Devonshire, Bermuda, Stuart Palmer from Devonshire, Bermuda, and Kathleen Thompson, also from Bermuda. Well done, Kathleen. Yep, good style and good form as she comes through. Next we have Chris Page. Chris Page from Bermuda, and Nick Sauter, also from Bermuda. Well done, Chris. Chris recently ran a 50-mile race on Aereo Shillingford. And Catherine Mello from Bermuda. Here's Catherine in the black outfit with the white hat. Yes, good form, Catherine. Well done. Chris Page ran the 50-mile race for charity, incidentally. Another young lady. This is Laurie Orchard. Laurie finishing up. Trevor Lindsay. Trevor Lindsay coming in, 51 years young. And Eric Gezik from Pembroke. Well done, Eric. Let's not forget our marathoners on the other side. In fact, they probably need the applause more than the half marathoners. Miguel Valiente from Brooklyn, New York. We'd never have guessed.
Yeah, Brooklyn!
Very patriotic outfit. And this is Keith Robinson from Hamilton, Bermuda. Vivian Lockhead from St. George's. And Gemma O'Brien. And Martina Bell. And Dustin Bond from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Dustin Bond. Tony Prentice. Attaboy, Tony. Good to see you out there. You're putting me to shame. Anton Dusevic. If you're of a certain age, you'll remember Romanoff's restaurant. Well, he was Mr. Romanoff. Anton Dusevic. Premshi Pillai from Brooklyn, New York. Ross Nottingham from Warwick. Here's Premshi. Whoa, easy now. Obviously from the northeast, feeling the heat. I'm told the two leading women in the marathon are together now. Well, the two men, I beg your pardon. The two men are together, which, as I said earlier, will help them. They can share the pace. John Peterson from Paget, Ward Savage from New York, and Linda Fortunato. Peter. Jay Rioloma from Somerset.
Oh, Jay.
Well done, Jay. Thomas Berger, New York.
Come on, Jay.
Darren Cassidy from Bermuda. Kathleen Kramer from South Boston, Massachusetts, in the orange shorts. Well done, Kathleen. Deborah Harding from Akron, Ohio. Yes. Nice long stride. That's how they do it in Ohio. Anthony Ashley Sewell from New York. And Carrie Butterfield from Bermuda, just finishing. That's the wife of Spencer Butterfield. Stepanka Sprinkova. Despite the name, she's a local runner. Well done. Stephen Smith from Pembroke. Caroline Lazelle from Paget. And Michelle Morrow from South Boston, Massachusetts. There's a happy runner. Well done. Martin Hintz from Switzerland. Guten Morgen, mein Herr. Yes, there's the Swiss runner. Alicia Hancock from Warwick. Well done, Alicia. Nicola Feldman from Warwick. Ali Hochberg from St. George's.
She came between 1937.
Nubilia Seamus from Pembroke. Steve? Joel Matthews from Smith's Parish. Joel Matthews. Here comes the Iron Man, Cal Steed. He's a Bermuda institution, this fella. Cal Steed. And Stephen Castry. And Julie Lemieux. Yes, Cal Steed, the Iron Man of Bermuda. Nick Williamson, Milan Oleksak, Teresa Majid, Teresa from Colorado, Isaiah Ruiz from Staten Island, Jamie Brakowski from New York, New York.
Anyway, my name's Mark, by the way. Yeah. How long have you been putting up with this?
About 20 minutes.
While we have a break, just to bring you up to date with the marathon, the first two men are through Devil's Hole. And this is Iris Cunliffe. Well done, Iris. The two ladies in the marathon, the gap has been shortened to 40 seconds. So, exciting times. This is Keith Bernhardt, Hilary Kamain from Warwick. Don't forget to encourage these marathon runners. Help them through. Kristen Palmer, Toronto, Ontario. Trevor Brooks from Pembroke, Bermuda. Dieter Maxelster from Germany, Deutschland. Peter Zittig from Boston, Massachusetts. Heather Hendelong from Valparaiso, Indiana. Abelardo Paredes from the Philippines. Karen Shapiro, Jay Pedro, Stephen Bartolomoli, Helen Golick, Megan Maharaj, Laurie Petrie, Mitchell Trott from Warwick, Sarah Squirrell from Waterbury, Vermont. Carlo Pinardi,
On the left side.
Christine Patton, Audrey Makowski from Maine. She'll appreciate the temperature change. Rachel Ebner from New York. Anna Hocking from Bermuda. Greg McNeil from Ontario. George Buckley from Ontario. Paula Few from Paget. Luke Ryan from Great Britain. Laura Norman from Bermuda. Ian Davis, local runner from Hamilton, Bermuda. Joe Roberts from Paget, Bermuda. Well done, Joe. Abriel Joyce from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She's come a long way. Stephen Frost from Devonshire. Madison Boyd from Wolfville, Nova Scotia. Danielle Robin from New York. Rachel Dion from Feeding Hills, Massachusetts. Bill Allen from Burlington, Ontario. Sarah Nichols, Southampton, Bermuda. Michael Bartabaccio, Pleasantville, New York. John Holding from Great Britain.
Nobody can ever pronounce the name of there.
Pablo Fushimi from Texas. Kristen Moore, New York. Scott Marchidon from Maine. And Jonah Jones. Jonah Jones, the artist. There he is. Simone Teixeira from Flats. Ronnie Wong. Ronnie Wong just gone through. Again, those of a certain age will remember the Castle Harbour Hotel. Ronnie was a chef there back in the 70s. That was Chad Carell from New Hampshire. Yuval Samshilevy from New York. Melissa Logie from Paget. Todd Hipp from Baltimore. Raphael Simons from Warwick. Drew Pennyfeather from New Jersey. Well done to Raphael from HSBC. You've completed your first half marathon. Peter Ryan from Smiths. Jatola Blair from Houston. Stephanie Zaytunian from New York. Rhiannon Bedford from Somerset. Miranda Backman from Washington State. Grant Mowbray from Paget. Miranda Backman, Dean Smith, Mark Outerbridge. Joe Barboza. Yuko Ibata from Hamilton, Bermuda. David Weiss from Astoria, New York. Vonnery Brucal from Massachusetts. Mandy Wells from St. George's. Jennifer Hinshaw, New York. Sarah Honeycacker, Brooklyn, New York. Caitlin Page from Beverly, Massachusetts. Annie Trepanier from Quebec. Ron Hooker from Connecticut. Smita Wacker from Smiths. Ian Coles from California. Zoe Larkins, New York. Tom Dennison, Brooklyn. Sharon Craig from Great Britain. Stephen Dunkley, here comes the milkman. Stephen Dunkley from Devonshire, Bermuda. Nurse Douglas from Paget. Louise Wells from Great Britain. Kimberly McIver, Hamilton, Pembroke. Aileen Smith from Devonshire. John Litherland, Newport, Rhode Island. Michael Cheng from Flushing, New York. Myri Redmond from Paget. Danielle Way from Hamilton. Anton Schmitz. Robert Marcotte. Jerry Marcotte. Dan McElroy from New York. Kate Tompkins. Annie Rhodes from New York. Jessica Kowalchuk from Cold Spring Harbor. Lizzie Peckett from Paget. Helen Gillis-Coos from Pembroke. Duarte Lima from Paget. Mike Gutteridge from Smiths. Jennifer Wilson from Warwick. Kevin McGeever. Colleen Zelznick. Lucy Emery. Tom Gilligan, Marathon Tours. Tim Westwood. Well done, Tom. Tom Gilligan. Tim Westwood from Ontario. Pamela Daly from Washington, D.C. Shanae Moody from Pennsylvania. George Prisco, New York. Grant Savage, New York. David Williams from Sunderland, Great Britain. Karen Peckett from Pembroke, Bermuda. Brian Mahoney, Staten Island, New York. Stephen Liss, Pennsylvania. Vivian Gupta, New York, New York. Duncan Scott. Anne Commode from St. George's. Christina Breville from New York. Lauren Thomas, New York. Noel Calver, Belmont, Ontario. Michael Weiss, Mahwah, New Jersey. Gareth Tavares from Bermuda. Erin Roberts, Plymouth, Massachusetts. Richard Milam, London, Great Britain. Marcelo Osenda from Smiths Parish. Arnaud Cornet from New York, New York. Lawrence Spear from Toronto. Carolyn Taylor from Oakville. Rebecca White, Devonshire. Brian Enriquez from Brooklyn, New York. Magda Spatback from Pembroke, Bermuda. Joel C. from Brooklyn. Jessica Benjamin, Brooklyn. Nicholas Pascal, Paget. Elizabeth Malloy, New York, New York. Deanna Diddick from Hamilton. Jennifer Salyer from Paget. Oric Curtis from Bermuda. Alexis Rogovsky from Baltimore, Maryland. Gillian Krebsbach from Astoria, New York. Stephanie McCukian from New York. Rachel Rothwell, St. George's. Stephen Wells from Felsted, Great Britain. Steve Conway. Annie Truax from Maryland. Michael Stickney from Maine. Annabelle Day from New York. Jean Jochen from Peterborough, Ontario. Susan Himes, Ohio. James Muller from Maine. Leslie Dempsey from New Jersey. Sarah Thompson from Warwick, Bermuda. Chris Sturhan, Philadelphia. Claire Frith from Warwick, Bermuda. Dennis Azuroff from Brooklyn, New York. Heather Cooper from Smiths Parish. Naomi Donaldson, Atlanta, Georgia. Brian McNamara, Devonshire. Amy Peniston from Pembroke. Susie Lacey, Hamilton. Matt Enright, Honolulu, Hawaii. Steve Petty from Pembroke. Peggy Cooper from Pembroke. Ashley Goddick from Warwick. Julie Gerke from Basking Ridge, New Jersey. Richard Hazel from Paget. John Schultz, Washington, D.C. Kim Legg, Hamilton, Bermuda. Rachel O'Neill, Paget. Stephen Ortiz from Devonshire. Coming up to the 2-hour barrier now, Sharon Hammond from Smiths. Jenny Pardo from New York. Helen Dudley from Paget. Robert Peet from Toronto, Ontario. Abby Peters from New York. Well done, Abby. Phil Martin from Hamilton, Bermuda. Genevieve London from New York. Catherine Calamer from East Norriton, Pennsylvania. Daniel Anderson, Durham, North Carolina. Emma Norman from Bermuda.
How do you throw it down?
The gap in the ladies' marathon has dropped to 25 seconds. Yanis Rue from Hamilton. Minal Kalika, New York. Eric Harden, Kelowna, BC. Marla Smith from Somerset. Well done, Marla. Rashina Kovacevic from Hamilton. Elizabeth Medeiros from Smiths. Lynn Norman from Hamilton, Bermuda. Melissa Barnes from Chatham, Ontario.
Hey, Melissa! Woo!
Candice Matthews from Smiths Parish. Alma Brucal from Quincy, Mass. There goes Alma. Philip Ferris from Smiths. Meredith Popola from New York, New York. Kevin O'Donnell from Palatine, Illinois. Kimberly Holzer from Virginia. All right, Carol from HSBC on the halfway point of the marathon. Bill Dawson. Johnson, Carrie Bray, Kimberly Holzer, Kevin O'Donnell, and Gianna Doyle from New York. Tiffany from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Stephen Conlon from Toronto, Ontario. Alison Friedman from New York. Richard Cassio. Is it? Lauren Young from New York. Sangeeta Wah from Paget. Gordon Patterson from Hamilton in Bermuda. The men's marathon race, the leader is past Barker's Hill on the North Shore. It is Richard Cassio, former winner from Kenya. And in the women's race, the gap now is down to 10 seconds. So we've got a race with the ladies. Shannon Thompson, Sophia Sontag, Gillian Cross, Julie Billon, Michael Thompson from Smiths, Elizabeth Deacon from Paget, Bermuda. Kristen Pedersen from Brooklyn, New York. Cole Holman from Smiths Parish, Bermuda. Margot Gregory from Georgia. Hersey Kako from Hamilton. Oksana Shetsko from New York, New York. Jingjing Mai from New York. David Sauter from Hamilton. Marcus Smith from Warwick. Cindy Way from New York, New York. Christopher Wanja from Montgomery, Texas. Alexandra Wilberts and Christopher Wanja from Montgomery, Texas. Quinton Sherlock, must be Quinton Sherlock Jr. from Southampton. Leonard Davis. Dodie Mason.
Very good. That's
Devin Messica from Waltham, Massachusetts. Benjamin Wright from Smiths Parish. Karen Kine, Geneva, New York. Abigail Lipman, New York. Justin Palaniuk, Connecticut, Ontario. Kevin Smith from Great Britain. Greg Keefe from Massachusetts. Jordan Kong from New York. Mel Cooksey, Pennsylvania. Michael Smeglin, Massachusetts. Ashley Balavender, Astoria, New York. Arena Geister, Staten Island, New York. Lauren Hecht, Chicago, Illinois. Erin Busuvia, Northampton, Massachusetts. Lorraine Pritchard from Toronto, Ontario. Laurie Hennessy from Vermont. Sarah Dittori from New York. Sarah Ray from New York. Terry Durant from Pembroke, Bermuda. Victoria Markley from Chicago, Illinois. Jonathan Vogelman, New York. Caitlin Murray from Pembroke. Alison Wisniewski from New York. Bridget Telenko, Westchester, Pennsylvania. Lauren Siska, New York, New York. and Forster, New York. Jane Smeglin from Quincy, Massachusetts. Tracy Moore, Westchester, Pennsylvania. Sarah Popowitz, Duxbury, Vermont. Heather Brain, Dorset, Great Britain. Heather Brain, a frequent visitor to Bermuda, all the way from Dorset, Great Britain. Well done, Heather. Liz Craig from Pembroke, Bermuda. Calandra Lake from Houston, Texas. Ray Wadding from Pleasant Garden, North Carolina. Jennifer Reynolds, Toronto, Ontario. Mike Rickards from Smiths Parish. Michelle Cardwell. Catherine Gibson from New York. Ernest Brown, Philadelphia, PA. Well done, Mike Rickards. Eric Sardovia, Surigao City. Ernest Brown, Philadelphia, PA. Andreas Panagakos from New Jersey. Leslie Morant, Philadelphia, PA. Sarah Farrer, Warwick, Bermuda. Shay Doyle, New York, New York. Celine Cleese from Smiths Parish. Stuart Grennan from Chicago. Courtney Jacobs, Hanover, Maryland. The men's marathon leader is past Blackwatch Pass on his way up to Admiralty House. Angela Ives, Paget. Val Ferreira, New York. Greg Parker, Brooklyn, New York. Scott Lang from Quebec. Scott Lang from Quebec. Jeremy Normington and Abigail Normington from Wisconsin. Brianne Wilson, Philadelphia. Darnell Wynn, the reading specialist from Smiths. Jocelyn Wright from Philadelphia, PA. Donnelly Guerin, Quincy, Mass. Peter Rickold from Pembroke.
Come on, Peter, good one.
Giorgio Zanol, the champion of Everest. Here's a man who ran a marathon up Mount Everest. Giorgio Zanol, the grand old man of Everest. John from Whitestone, New York. Kim Hooker from Connecticut. Where's Kim? Kim Hooker. That's a difficult name to live with, Kim. From Monroe, Connecticut. Only joking, Kim. A little bit of light humor. Meg Keefe from North Kingstown, Rhode Island.
All right, go, Ron.
So the men's marathon leader is past Blackwatch Pass on their way up to Admiralty House. They won't be long now. He's well in the lead. It's Richard Kessio. As we say hello to Dee Mullin, Gail Miller, Amar Bahan, Barbara Satchel, Victor Cabral, Jessica Arp, Ian Henderson, Brad Glassetti, Robin Marion. Robin from Maryland. Tia Lee from New York. We should be seeing the men's marathon winner in 15 to 20 minutes. The two ladies in the lead in the women's marathon are side by side, but our male marathon leader is well and clear. Richard Kessio, Rosemary Lydon, Marina Moriarty, Eva Casali, Jacqueline Countess from Maryland,